You've seen them. Maybe you are one of them. The kind of person who can't relax if there's a single dish in the sink. The one who straightens pillows that no one touched. The one who feels a strange itch, almost anxiety, when things are out of place. But here's a question no one really asks. Why? Because on the surface, it looks harmless, even admirable. Clean home, clear mind, right? But it might not be the case. In fact, what if I told you that for some people, that spotless kitchen, that perfectly aligned living room, isn't about cleanliness at all? It's about something deeper, something psychological, something they may not even fully understand themselves. And once you see it, you won't look at being tidy the same way again. Let's start with something subtle. Imagine your life is falling apart, deadlines are piling up, relationships feel unstable, nothing seems predictable. Now, suddenly, you walk into a room, and everything is perfectly clean. Every object exactly where it should be. In that moment, something shifts. That's not coincidence. That's control. Psychologists have found that when people face uncertainty, they instinctively cling to routines. Cleaning becomes more than a chore. It becomes a ritual, a way to impose order on chaos. Because if you can't control your life, at least you can control your environment. And for some people, that control becomes addictive. But control isn't the only thing happening. There's something else, something quieter. That is anxiety. Have you ever tried to relax in a messy room when your mind is already overwhelmed? It doesn't work. Clutter doesn't just sit there. It presses on you. It adds noise to an already noisy mind. Research has shown that visual clutter competes for your attention, overloading your brain and increasing stress levels. Your mind struggles to filter what matters. So, what do anxious people do? They clean, not because they love it, but because it's one of the fastest ways to calm the storm in their head. And here's the twist. The relief they feel, it's real, yet it's temporary. Now let's take this one step further. What if cleaning isn't just calming anxiety? What if it's replacing something? Think about this. You're waiting for bad news. A medical result, a difficult phone call, something you can't control. You could sit there and feel it. Or you could start scrubbing the kitchen, organizing drawers, folding clothes, rearranging shelves. Suddenly, you're busy, distracted, productive. And just like that, you've escaped your thoughts. This is where cleaning becomes a coping mechanism. Not just helpful, but necessary. Because for some people, it's the only thing keeping their emotions from spilling over. But here's where things get even more interesting. Sometimes, the drive to clean isn't about the present. It's about the past. Picture a child growing up in chaos, a messy home, unpredictable parents, emotional instability, maybe even neglect. That child grows up associating mess with stress, disorder with danger. So what do they do as adults? They create the opposite. A home that is spotless, controlled, predictable. Because deep down, they're not just cleaning a house. They're trying to rewrite their past. Studies on trauma responses suggest that people often develop behaviors that give them a sense of safety. Cleaning can be one of them. It's not about perfection. It's about protection. While speaking of perfection, let's talk about perfectionists. Because for them, cleaning isn't just a habit. It's a standard, a test, a way to measure their worth. You'll notice something about perfectionists. They don't see a clean home the way others do. They see flaws, a speck of dust, a crooked frame, a faint stain no one else would notice. And every flaw feels like failure. So they clean, relentlessly. Because in a world where perfection is impossible, a perfectly clean room is the closest thing they can achieve. But not all pressure comes from within. Sometimes it's external. Shame plays a powerful role here. Maybe someone was criticized constantly growing up. Maybe they were told they were not good enough, not clean enough, not organized enough, or maybe they are in a relationship where expectations are impossibly high. Over time, that criticism turns inward, and Cleaning becomes a way to prove something, to avoid judgment, to feel worthy. But here is the painful part. No amount of cleaning ever truly removes that feeling. Now let's flip the script for a second, because sometimes obsessive cleaning doesn't come from anxiety or trauma. It comes from the fear of going back to a time when things were different. Specifically, depression. When someone is deeply depressed, even basic tasks feel impossible. Dishes pile up. Laundry goes untouched. Spaces become chaotic. So when they recover, something shifts. They remember how bad it felt, and they never want to go back there again. So they clean and clean and clean. Because to them, a messy space isn't just messy, it's a warning sign. But here's a twist you probably didn't expect. Sometimes, cleaning isn't about what someone is dealing with. It's about what they're avoiding. Think about the last time you had to do something uncomfortable. A difficult conversation, a stressful decision. Did you suddenly feel the urge to do something else, something productive? That's avoidance, and cleaning is the perfect disguise. Because it feels responsible. It looks useful, but in reality, it can be a way to delay facing what truly matters. And yet, there's one final layer to all of this. Something surprisingly simple. Clarity. Because beyond all the psychology, trauma, anxiety, and coping, there's a basic truth. Your environment shapes your mind. Studies show that clutter makes it harder to focus, process information, and complete tasks. It creates mental fatigue. On the other hand, clean, organized spaces are linked to feelings of calm, control, and well-being. So, for some people, obsessive cleaning isn't a symptom of something deeper. It's a solution. A way to function better, think clearer, live more intentionally. So, what does all of this mean? It means that the next time you see someone obsessively cleaning, don't assume you understand why. Because what looks like a simple habit could be control, could be anxiety, could be trauma, could be avoidance, or it could be the only thing holding their world together. And maybe the real question isn't, why are they so obsessed with cleaning? Maybe it's, what are they trying to fix that cleaning can't? And once you start asking that, you begin to see people a little differently. Even yourself. Tell me in the comments if any of the facts relate to you, or you find any of the aspects missing. Please consider subscribing and give us thumbs up. It will motivate us to bring more studies for you. Till then, take care.